Out her camera. We are, well, Greg hates that I say this, but we are live. I have one too many dogs with me today, and we're talking. This is this month in the world of marketing. So I thought we'd talk first about the elephant in the room. This
Well,
is
wait, can I just say something? We
no.
should have
Oh, we should
actually renamed
introduce.
this for 1 month only to This Month in the World of Twitter.
Right, I was
Does
gonna
it feel like
I
say.
think Twitter might dominate our conversation today.
I would like to hear what you and Rena have to say about it because I know, and Phelan, because you all are more on Twitter than me. So take it away. What are the things going on besides the
all
burning
right?
of the building?
So, um, so there were some predictions that so many people were laid off or left, that the bugs were going to take over and things were going to become problematic and glitchy. I haven't seen any indication of that, and Elon's been tweeting like crazy man to point out all the things that are working. So he says that there have been some major improvements of speed on Twitter, especially for countries outside of the US. Apparently, hate speech is down by 1/3 from previous spike levels. Let's see. And I wonder if that spike up was actually the spike up looked like it was on October 20th. And that is when a whole pile of new accounts came on. Um, where were the number of accounts? I forgot. It was astronomical. How many new accounts? But I was part of the I wasn't part of the problem. The problem that became a problem for me. I had a couple of clone accounts organized on my Twitter account that I had to like try and get down, which I was actually successful in doing that before any of my people fell for the fell for the scam, the scam, whatever it was going to be. He's also claiming. He's also claiming. What else did I say here? Oh yeah. So he let. Okay. So the best poll, Twitter poll I've ever seen, was put out. Of course, you've probably heard to try and get Trump back, Trump's account back. So the poll got 3,162,112 votes. And oh no, hang on, that was a different poll. Hang on, where is the just one second. That's a different poll. He's running so many polls. It's like I don't know how you run your business like that. But the poll for
The
Trump
answer's not
went
very well.
to 3
Yeah, he
million.
doesn't run
Yeah,
businesses.
three. I know. Well, we're not going to really do that because somebody was actually pretty offended the last time we tried to do that. We talked about it like that. So basically, what happened was there was 52% for Trump and 48% no Trump. So and it went. I think there were 3 million votes, and it went out to a vast larger number of people who didn't vote. And I just can't find this stupid. Oh, here it is. Okay, so now all of my numbers are not right. So 51.8% voted yes to having Trump back on, 48.2% no. We had 15 million 85,460 458 votes, and the number of people who oh no, it didn't tell me how many saw it. Oh, I was actually misreading
um,
that. Okay,
and
cool.
check this out. What is this? Is a great comment. And Trump is ignoring Musk and not posting so far.
Yes, he is. That's exactly what I was. Somebody took my took my.
Huh.
I can never get there fast enough. That's the problem. So yeah, so he's been reinstated and he's not actually using his account because, of course, he's went and started Truth Social. So basically, from Elon's perspective or Musk's perspective, I feel like we're on first name basis. Um, things are going dreamy. Um, they had 1.6 daily active users in the past week, an all-time high. I haven't noticed too much other than my account being cloned twice. I haven't noticed too much terrible things any more than that used to be on Twitter. Twitter's
Wait, cloned twice
pretty
since he
toxic.
took over?
Yeah, yeah. When he opened up the floodgates for all sorts of new people that were banned, uh,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Hmm.
And he did run a poll on that. So should Twitter offer general amnesty to suspended accounts, provided they have not broken the law or engaged in egregious spam? So I'm not sure what egregious means in terms of spam, because there is already a lot of spam on Twitter. 72.4% are all for free speech. As a Canadian, I have to put the air quotes up. And then 27.6% said no, they should leave those accounts banned. So it's pretty fun watching him tweet. It does seem like he's a little bit stressed out about it. Seems to be overcompensating, and he's getting in Twitter arguments with people like Kara Swisher, who's one of my all-time favorite podcasters, and the such.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that's been fun to watch a little bit. I don't watch it too much because I do have a brain that needs taking care of from time to time.
But you both have left, well, not left Twitter, but now you have additional accounts on two other platforms that are like Twitter. Is that correct? Yeah?
I haven't quite organized my accounts yet. I've looked into it. But Greg, I think you know more
I
about the
I have an
alternative.
account now with Hive, which
Oh.
I actually really like. Hive, the layout and stuff. It looks promising. I just hope that I was thinking the other day, like how wrong is it to like blast Twitter to try to get everybody to go to Hive, right?
I
Lots of people are doing that.
does it go through?
Yeah,
What's that?
yeah.
I was gonna say, does it go through? Does it get posted? Glenn is here, just so you
It would
know.
it would get posted for sure. Yeah.
Uh, and I do like the the Musk memes that
I
I've
do too.
seen,
They're very
but
funny. I posted one.
I've seen them on TikTok. So there you have how much time I spend on Twitter. Um,
Yeah.
right?
So the other thing that needs to be accounted for in our conversation is what are agencies doing with this information, and big brands. And a lot of them are moving away and canceling their ad spend. I've heard of people canceling like $75,000 a month in ad spend on Twitter,
Oh
which
wow.
is big. It's a big shift, and a lot of my contemporaries, marketing. Well, they're not really my contemporaries. They're usually bigger agencies than I am, but a lot of them have left, and I'm not sure if that means that they've taken their clients with them or what they're doing. We never really got a lot of engagement on Twitter for my clients, but generally I use it as a link back to a website for SEO purposes. I'm not really sure how beneficial that is, but
Twitter
that's what.
and Google, so they were really pally pal at one time, and
Yeah.
so some of Twitter's tweets got indexed, and then they
Yes.
got in a fight, and
Yes.
then Google stopped. I think now it's happening again. So once in a while you'll see tweets depending on what you're searching, right?
Yeah. So personally, I'm sticking on there because I still find that a lot of the people that I like to follow, like the journalists for journalism and podcasters and things like that, they're all up there and on there, and the conversation is still good.
Well, what
Um,
about like Canada? I don't know about the US, but like that's where you look for power outages.
yeah,
Like from
like
hydro, it's
yeah,
the
and yes, and support providers, like so. Even just yesterday I got finally got a MailChimp support person on Twitter, and that's usually where I go, so I'm not in a hurry to leave, but maybe I won't spend so much time working my brand on there so much until I see the fallout. I want to see how this goes.
right. And Glenna is saying she's on Mastodon too. So
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
that
I,
interesting?
this
It
is cool.
is fun to watch a billionaire take over a company and how it's being a social media company, and we all know that's probably very difficult,
So
right?
there are a couple of other pieces of information too. One is some people are saying that this is all what's expected, that Elon Musk took over in order to break Twitter, so that
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have the ability to help people organize at grassroots level. So that's one theory. I don't know how accurate that is.
Oh
And then
yeah.
the other theory is that he's going to get a whole pile of money from the government, whether he makes Twitter work or not, and that's why he is there, even though he was forced to be there. So I'm not really sure. I didn't follow the money trail yet, or I'm not sure if I actually will. But those are interesting things, you know. I mean, I don't know how it works if you lose money on a business with the American tax situations. I
Mm.
know how it works in Canada, and that's it. So who's to say?
Right? So Glenn is
Well,
on Hive too. And hold on, go on, Phelan.
I was gonna say the theory that was going into why even in the first place he had looked at purchasing it, it's because most of his wealth is actually tied up in Tesla stock, which is like entirely speculative and doesn't
Yeah.
actually make sense. And as we get non-zero interest rates, he needed to diversify his money away from something that wasn't
Oh,
like
I
pure
see.
speculation.
That's
And
right,
so
because
buying a company
it's only
and
valued at the amount that they say it's valued at. It doesn't actually have cash. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Okay.
yes, because they recall an undisclosed amount because Mickey signed an NDA for every car from Tesla. So like the fundamentals just don't work for Tesla for how much like money each stock is worth for how many cars they produce. It just doesn't match compared to any
Right.
other manufacturer. And so they figured that he was trying to buy something that would be like, so when there's the crash, he's like, well, I still have this $1 billion company over here that's actually does something functionally. And so that
$44 billion company. Is it still worth that much, or what's the deal?
well, the ironic part is he lost $100 billion in wealth in the last week
Oh,
from Tesla
that
stock
sounds
dropping.
hard.
Yeah.
I'm
So, like,
I am
yeah, if
laughing because I can't even imagine it. I just have to say. But more in the world of marketing, is there anything else happening besides the Elon Musk thing? There must be.
There are things, but you know what?
It's
It's
not as
just
much
like
fun.
I'm drawing a
it's
blank because that's occupied all of my attention. Let's
I
see
well,
what.
it what I would say is like trying to pay attention to something else is like watching a Tesla car be on fire. Like it's just a giant blaze that just will not go out no matter what you do to it.
mm,
And
I
yeah,
there's a lot of
I
Google
will say
stuff.
I'm pretty sad about what's happening with Twitter and this whole thing because I think Twitter is probably the most important communication device we have across the globe.
Well,
I
isn't
mean,
that funny when
Facebook
you
is
think about
great.
that?
Other social media platforms are great, but they're more for fun. But Twitter to me is news. It's information. It's
Yeah,
instant. It's like
exactly.
so.
It's like
well,
So
there's
it's
a
really,
hurricane
I
coming.
find it pretty sad
Yeah.
what is happening to it because the potential of this platform of how it could work if it was in the right hands and managed properly, it
But
was really would really be good.
I get being sad about it, but with marketing industry, like maybe it just opens a door for new and better. Maybe like because I mean, like the newspapers are gone, and I personally like the internet way better. Just you know,
well, what
so
I would say
maybe.
is for the marketing side of it, like the irony of Twitter was that it did a really poor job with its targeting. It had always been kind
Yeah.
of the runt in the
Yeah.
litter, but that's what
Mm,
made it. But that is what made it a much more usable platform for most people, is because there weren't the ads were pretty shoddy, so it wasn't like Instagram where they're doing like hyper targeted ads all the time, and so
mm.
it actually made it a much more usable experience for most people because it didn't over like monetize every last little aspect of it. So
Have
the
any of?
irony is,
No, go on. Sorry, I got excited.
oh, it's yeah, it was just that the irony is that the advertising not being as effective made it a much nicer platform for most average people.
Have you guys done advertising on Twitter, Rena? Have you done that? Yeah, I
Yeah,
we haven't done it.
not in a really long time. I just found that, at the time that I tried it, which was years ago, by the way, so I haven't looked at it. The targeting was super bad. It was like age, if people gave their birthday, and gender, and location, and that was pretty much it. So I'm expecting that it's much better, but because Facebook is just so brilliant in that way. I've never really looked at Twitter for that, but
Mm.
and I understand that. I actually just got some news that's news to me, probably not news to everyone, that LinkedIn's targeting is much better. Retargeting
Oh,
is much better. Yeah, so I'm gonna look into that this week.
I know you
That's
can
my
put the
project.
pixel. They have a pixel,
Yeah,
which is pretty great because you can target by profession, which is pretty
yeah,
brilliant. So, I
yeah.
mean, I think that's an avenue. We're trying Amazon ads right now.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
Yeah, yes, that's interesting. Right. There's always stuff to learn and do, right? Um,
Regardless, ad spend seems to be down again this year, and this quarter it's gone down a little bit, but not terribly considering the recession. You know, sometimes I'm sure that your client, yeah, you feel this with your clients. I hear this happens with Google Ads. As soon as recession starts or anything like that, people tend to close down their marketing budget instead of opening up, which is really silly, because it's the opposite. When people leave the marketing space or the ad space, the price goes down. So it's actually you
better.
have less competition for those keywords. So it's actually a good time to level up.
I tell the
So
Pepsi story,
one
but
one clarification is we are not actually in a recession. Last quarter had way more positive growth. It was
but
2.3% for the United States, which
that
makes it
that's
not in a
if we
recession.
actually define what a recession is according to economics. The reality is
Yes, which
that
is
everybody's paying more for
You're
bread, milk, all the things, which does make you more apprehensive about buying stuff. So whether
That's
or
true.
not we're in a recession, we're all a little bit more price conscious, in my humble opinion,
And
right?
you're
yeah,
absolutely right. The article does say with recession looming. So
yeah,
Looming, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
I
interesting.
So
know, but a lot of
what I would
people are using it. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
what I would say is we're closer to a 70s style stagflation, where
Stag.
there's prices are going out of control, and so that's
Yeah.
closer to what we're at is the 70s stagflation period than in
Right.
proper recession like we had in 2008.
I don't like the
Right.
sound of stagflation. Sorry, bad word. Bad
Uh,
word.
Why not
but
stagette
yes,
Oh
inflation?
yeah, yeah. Well, because then it's a
Yeah.
party. Like,
well, it means
I'm like,
it just means stagnant inflation. So
Yeah.
everything is technically standing still, but
mm.
like prices are going through the roof.
We
Uh,
do have a separation of clients right now that are either pulling back or putting everything into it, and we're
Yeah.
banking with the people that are putting everything into it because they'll be
Yeah.
the winners. Like, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
I
so.
yeah,
agree. I totally agree. I'm leveling up my own accounts too because I've seen a decline. Like even when I look at how much it's costing me for keywords on Facebook for my clients, it's actually coming in much nicer, like a much better rate. So I feel like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to try this out and see if I can actually get the cost per acquisition down.
Interesting. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
trying some really amazing things with our clients. Like we've started integrating, doing shorts on YouTube to see if that can boost your like even your local SEO. So there's so many things to try and do, and it's
well,
amazing.
and
I'm
also
tired.
to expand that with like clients that are doing video and they're also doing e-commerce, that you can
Mm,
integrate YouTube Shorts, that it can actually have the whole
shopping.
checkout inside of YouTube, like the app itself.
Hmm.
So there's lots of
That's new.
cool things.
And in Google Search Console, I don't know if y'all have any e-commerce clients. I have to go over there and look, but Search Console just released this week, last week. You can now see products in your Search Console if you sell products, and you can attach your Google Search Console to your Merchant Center. Um,
oh
yeah, yeah, and it'll tell you if your schema is off or anything like that with your products, which is like I know out of the box Shopify does it for you, but I also know that you
Some
have
of
to
them.
go through and update them all, right? For
Yeah,
precision.
Shopify, some of the themes will do it out of the box. Most of them do. There's a few that I found that haven't, but so you do want to test with Search Console just to make sure everything's working. But yeah, it's definitely well worth it to go and take a look at Search Console for that because they're definitely doing a big push for the e-commerce side of it and competing with Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting next year. I mean in the next month, you guys, we get to talk about what we think's going to happen and we do our look back, jump forward, look back. Anyway, super exciting so we can see in the marketing what's trended this year, right? There's going to be a lot of information on that and what people
yeah.
think about next year. I am excited. I can't believe we're already here.
I know.
Right? Greg, is there any website news?
Yeah, pretty slow in web stuff.
Aren't you
Well, or
lucky?
maybe at least slow for me because I haven't really been keeping up with a couple things in the past month. Other than since our last chat, the latest release of WordPress did come out, and everything seemed to be fine with that.
Mm.
Um, Other than that, yeah, I've just been busy and not really keeping up with the times that last month.
Right. Well, yeah, it doesn't sound like it's been uh, like a whirlwind. Like the SEO whirlwind is like a train going at a, I don't know, the
Yeah,
station
things
Yeah.
at
don't
200
change
miles an hour.
as fast in web design or development as they used to. Like back in the day, things would change fast.
Mm.
Um, Things have tailed off definitely in that world. There's
I
always new things that come up, new things, but yeah, it's not monthly really anymore.
Yesterday I met a woman who does website stuff, and I said, "Oh, what platform do you use?" She said Weebly, and I was like, "Weebly," and Square bought Weebly. And so now Weebly isn't getting updates and things like that. So maybe they'll
Hmm.
go away. So I thought that, and she told me Weebly. So I go and I look up the website Weebly, and I click on their SEO. I got taken to a 404 page. It's quite funny, really.
That
Just so
The
you
irony.
know, it was ironic. But I thought that was really neat. Like Weebly, none of you work in Weebly, do you?
I have a couple of clients that ask me for help from time to time, but no, I don't build sites for people in Weebly
Mm.
or Wix. And we can help people with Squarespace, but we don't build in Squarespace either. But we do Shopify and WordPress,
Yeah, we
pretty
do.
much.
We like working on those. We will work on Wix sites, and we will work on I don't know.
Squarespace.
We will not work on Drupal. I don't think we did originally look at
Yeah.
that, and it was just so old and
Yeah, well, it
antiquated.
depends on if the website is old, but there are new Drupal sites too. So
Mm.
it does tend to be older sites that are still on Drupal. Um,
I
we
saw a
have a
post in Girl Gang about needing Drupal
sorry.
people. I said I saw a
Uh,
post in Girl Gang about needing Drupal people. I was like, oh,
oh, I should actually look for that. I've got a Drupal guy on my on my team.
yeah.
Drupal and Joomla. I get
Wow.
those every now and again. I know.
See,
I don't like them. They used to scare me until I got my guy on my team, and then I'm like, okay, now I can relax about that.
mm, I like WordPress. Biggest fan. Biggest fan.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
So,
I did
oh,
want to say that there was a new entrant into the ads platform space
new
that came out
entrance.
this month. New entrant,
Oh.
um, and the entrant is Netflix. So that whole part where they're
Right.
basically
Oh
they're turning
yeah.
into television, where they're going to have scheduled times for shows to be released, and they're going to have ads, and they're just
I don't like the scheduled times. They won because of binging and autoplay.
yeah.
Yeah,
But now they're changing their model because they realize that people just get on to watch the one show,
yeah,
watch it all the way through, and so now they're having to like space it all out, and they're doing advertising, and so it's entertaining to watch someone reverse engineer why
yeah,
TV was set up that way.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to level up to that no ads version because that's gonna drive me mental. But there is one other thing that I almost forgot, which is super important for the people who are blogging using AI. There is an interesting lawsuit that's happening in the States about misinformation that went out because of an AI blog. And the question is that they're determining down there is who is liable. So, you got to watch what kind of blog articles you're putting out there. And there are some serious ramifications for you. So that'll be interesting to see. Pip, it
You're
looks like your
muted.
mouth is moving, but you're.
You are muted. The most used phrase in 2021, 2, and 3. Almost. Um, Karen posted something in the Facebook group this week about a client using copywritten material. And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
supposed to, as the social media person, she's supposed to do the posting. And she was wondering if she could get in trouble for posting it, even though she's being directed by the client.
Oh, you know what? We need to refer Karen to a U.S. lawyer because we can't possibly speak on that.
Mm.
Yeah, I wouldn't even
So
know where to
I would
begin
just
with
say
that.
don't post copywritten things. Period. Dot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
would naturally think that the
The
account,
oh,
whoever's account it
it's the account
would be the
maybe.
one that would be
Yes,
liable,
I can
not the
Yeah.
tell
actual
you.
person doing the
Yeah,
posting.
I can tell
Well,
you right
yeah.
now, as the account owner,
Yeah.
but the account owner could sue you as a marketing
Yeah.
service provider. But it would be weird for them to do that. So, what the scenario that I was part of, well, I wasn't part of it. I went in and cleaned it up. Was some social media person was using copyrighted imagery, and the client got um, well, they call them retroactive licenses. They're kind of like a fee. They're way higher than what it costs to buy a stock photo, but they're way less than what it would cost to hire a lawyer to go to court. So it can be quite costly. I think it was around $900, and so the owner of the account is definitely the one who is liable. However, if you were choosing something for your client, then they could turn around and sue you. So hopefully you have the proper errors and omissions insurance. And if you
Yeah.
don't, I've got a good guy. And
I would also recommend getting an email saying, "Hey, do you know that this is copywritten correct? Do you still want me
yeah,
to post this?" I would have a paper
yes,
trail that would
yes,
identify that
definitely.
you
It's
told
usually,
them.
yes, I usually check. I do check. I take swaths of the text and I throw it into the search engine and see if it pulls up anything. I know that they do have, I think that they have plagiarism software that you can get if you're an educator, but I don't know if there's anything free. I should look into that. But generally, Google will figure it out for you if it's there.
Mm, yes. So we only
Yeah.
have 2 minutes left, and of course, we have to talk about what's happening next week. But we also have to talk about who's going shopping tomorrow online. Said,
Oh
are we all as marketers or
yeah.
people online doing our shopping for our SaaS products? Anybody? Anybody?
Well, I did most of mine last year, but if anyone has any software recommendations that they absolutely love, throw them in the comments below because I'm looking. I like to look. I got last year. I got Gravity Forms and an unlimited license of Gravity Forms and
Ooh,
Cadence.
okay.
As yeah, so those were good deals.
We just bought Loom, the business
Oh,
version.
that's a good one.
It has Blur, and it's
Yeah.
good, and it's
Okay,
good.
that sounds great. Okay, good one. And yes, I'm looking for suggestions.
Oh, look, Glenn is saying I run through plagiarism detectors and I have free ones. Yeah, I have a couple free
Okay,
ones too.
cool. I'll look for that
Ooh,
too then.
consuming
I
of
never
coupon code Mighty Networks. That's
That's
a good question.
that is a good question. You should post that in the group today. Um,
networks.
yeah. So next week is Google Business Profile, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes, Greg helped with the name, which is so good. It's going to be a really fun conversation with Greg and I. And then in December, we have a couple lives, and then we are on holiday for a few weeks for the end of the year.
Are we?
So I think so.
Excellent. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
that got in my calendar. Yay.
Oh, right? So happy Thanksgiving to all our American friends if you're celebrating. Enjoy your food and laughter and
Enjoy your football.
oh, I guess it's
Oh yeah, that's
I don't do
right.
football, so I don't get it. But we will see you next month for the month in the world of marketing. Bye.
Bye, everyone.